Is it true that the real mastermind has been targeting Taehyung for a long time? Why did Jungkook suddenly reveal new clues that changed everything? What secret was hidden behind the break-in? And why is Jungkook demanding immediate arrest? Read and decide for yourself. What if the truth you believed was never the real truth at all? What if the person responsible for the fear creeping into Taehyung's life has been silently watching him far longer than anyone imagined? And why did Jungkook's voice shake with both fury and desperation when he urged investigators to act now, before everything spirals even further out of control? Before we begin, tell us what you think. Comment your theories, hit like if you're shocked already, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates, because this story is about to get darker, deeper, and far more personal than anyone expected. The night the incident happened, the world thought it was just another criminal act, another random break-in, another unfortunate moment that could be explained by chance. But chance, as investigators are now whispering behind doors no camera can reach, had nothing to do with it. The timing, the method, the eerie silence surrounding the perpetrator's escape. Everything points to someone who didn't simply stumble into Taehyung's home. Points to someone who waited, someone who watched, someone who moved with the confidence of a person who had rehearsed the crime in their mind over and over again. And the most chilling part? Jungkook seems to know it. The youngest BTS member, usually calm, thoughtful, and careful with his words, has now stepped forward with a tone the public has almost never heard from him. A mix of fear, anger, and something else, something close to a warning. Why did he say he had new clues? What did he discover after reviewing the footage again and again? What detail did everyone else miss, but he noticed instantly, like a spark in the darkness that no one else saw? Rumors began to swirl the moment Jungkook appeared at the investigator's office, walking faster than usual, jaw clenched, refusing to speak to reporters, eyes fixed on the ground as though replaying every frame of the CCTV footage inside his mind. Officials confirmed he asked for a private room, slammed a file onto the table, and insisted the team reopen a line of questioning they had previously dismissed. Even the lead investigator looked unsettled, and he's known for never breaking expression. Why is Jungkook so sure? What exactly did he find? Sources close to the situation claim that Jungkook saw something in the shadows, something in the perpetrator's movement, posture, or behavior that only someone who truly knows Taehyung's circle would recognize. Someone who wasn't just near the house by accident. Someone who wasn't panicking or rushing like a typical criminal. Someone who moved slowly, deliberately, like a person who already knew every inch of the home. Was this person familiar with Taehyung's routine? His schedule? The layout of the rooms? His security patterns? The questions continue to multiply, and the answers remain elusive as reporters attempted to gather more information. One thing became absolutely undeniable. Jungkook was no longer speaking as a bystander. He was speaking as someone who feared for the person he cared about. Someone who knew this wasn't random, wasn't accidental, wasn't just a crime of opportunity. As he left the investigator's office, his voice was trembling, yet firm. He said only one sentence. If you don't arrest them now, something worse will happen. What did he mean by something worse? What does he know that the public doesn't? Taehyung, shaken after the break-in, has remained mostly silent, but insiders close to him say he has not slept peacefully since the night it happened. One source described him waking up abruptly, breathing heavily, insisting he heard someone standing beside the door. Another said he refused to stay alone even for a moment. And perhaps the most alarming detail, he asked to review the CCTV footage not once but multiple times, and each time he stopped at the same moment, stared at the screen and whispered, "How long has he been watching me? Who is he?" Why does Taehyung believe the person has been watching him long before the night of the crime? What memory resurfaced that made his hands shake the way witnesses described? Everything changed when Jungkook arrived at Taehyung's home after the incident. According to those nearby, Jungkook's expression transformed the moment he entered the room. It wasn't fear, it was recognition. As if he had seen something before. As if he had sensed something familiar in the intruder's mannerisms. He allegedly told staff, "Check the old recordings. Don't stop at the night of the break-in. Go back. Way back." Why way back? What made him suspect the stalker wasn't new? Investigators did exactly what he suggested. And that's when the case took a horrifying turn. Buried deep in weeks-old footage, on nights when Taehyung wasn't even home, a figure appeared. standing at a distance, watching the windows, remaining perfectly still for long stretches, disappearing whenever someone passed by, only to return hours later, always in the same spot, always silent, always observing if the same figure from those earlier recordings is the one who entered Taehyung's home. Then the break-in was merely the climax of a long and twisted plan. A plan crafted by someone who was patient, strategic, and emotionally invested enough to monitor Taehyung's movements for weeks, maybe even months. The terrifying truth is that the real danger may not even be the break-in itself. The danger lies in the fact that the mastermind could be someone Taehyung once trusted, someone with access to knowledge an ordinary criminal would never have. Was it a former staff member? A past acquaintance? A person from an old project? A distant connection that quietly resurfaced with sinister intent? One investigator admitted privately that the fear in Taehyung's eyes wasn't the fear of recognizing a stranger. It was the fear of recognizing the familiar. And that brings us back to Jungkook's urgent demands. Why is he insisting the perpetrator be arrested immediately? What deadline is he sensing? Why does he believe hesitation could make things far worse? Perhaps Jungkook understands something deeper, something only someone who has lived beside Taehyung for more than a decade could understand. Perhaps he knows how dangerous a determined, emotionally driven stalker can be once their plan is disrupted. As the investigation intensifies, Jungkook continues to push harder than anyone expected. He has reportedly contacted the legal team multiple times in a single day. He has requested updates every few hours. He has sent additional information he gathered through his own observations. And the most shocking part, he has offered to personally accompany investigators during key interviews. Never before has Jungkook involved himself this directly in a case like this. Never before has he looked this distraught, this protective, this unwavering. Some speculate he feels guilty. Others say he feels responsible. But most people believe this. Jungkook will not rest until the person behind Taehyung's suffering is behind bars. The emotional toll is heavy. Fans around the world are sending support messages, worried about Taehyung's mental state and Jungkook's increasing stress. Many wonder if the group is safe. Many fear the perpetrator might attempt something again. Many are asking the same question Jungkook himself seems terrified of. What if the mastermind isn't finished yet? As the story continues to unravel, more clues emerge, more theories surface, and more emotions run high. Every hour brings new whispers, new concerns, new possibilities. But until the suspect is arrested, until the truth is fully revealed, one question will haunt both fans and investigators alike. How long has the mastermind truly been watching Taehyung? And what do they plan to do next? The hours following Jungkook's warning were suffocating. The investigation room felt colder, heavier, charged with a tension no one could explain. It wasn't just the weight of the case anymore. It was the weight of an unseen presence, a threat that lingered even when the CCTV screens were off. Why did officers keep glancing at the door as if expecting someone to walk in? Why did the atmosphere shift the moment Jungkook said, "This person isn't acting alone"? That sentence alone threw the entire team into silent chaos. If there was one perpetrator inside Taehyung's home, then who was the second figure standing outside days before? Who was the shadow that appeared near the alley across the street, a figure investigators originally dismissed as a passerby? How could everyone have overlooked the way both figures seemed connected through timing, coordinated movements, and identical pauses, like synchronized reflections of the same sinister plan? The revelation felt like ice spreading through the room.